Awesome, brother. Well, just wanted to get right into it, man. We're excited to have you here in Houston.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I virtually played there when I barely started the band, like 2016. Um, and I haven't been back since. And that's kind of like the theme for Texas in a way. Like I got signed to Coal Mine in 2019,
Hmm.
and my record came out in March of 2020. Obviously, the plan was to like go touring all over, right? But we all know what was happening in 2020.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to like get back out here, basically. But I know that I just have a feeling that there's a lot of people in Texas that are down to see us, and Texas seems like one of those communities where people really go out to shows and stuff like that.
Well, we're excited to have you back in Houston, and this time with your new band, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, since I'm a solo artist, my lineup like can change members here and from time to time, but it's I genuinely feel like it's my favorite group of folks at this point. Like since I started the project, as far as the way we sound, and I'm just happy to have these talented musicians help me make my music come to life.
That's incredible, man.
We're super excited to play Houston. Uh, would love to see everyone come out. If you guys like Ila Bamba, if you guys like the Sinceres and the Altons and all this stuff, we've
Hmm.
played with all those bands. We just
Absolutely.
haven't had a chance to come out here ourselves until now. So
Yeah,
it's if you're part of that community, then this is the show for you.
that's great, man. So I wanted to talk to you about all like how you started this project. Born and raised in California, is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
I was born in LA,
got
grew
it.
up in Long Beach, California.
Long Beach.
I was only my mom was 6 months pregnant when she actually came over from Mexico,
Wow.
so I was actually imported.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, I'm definitely like an Angelino. I can't. I mean, I live in Chicago now,
Hmm.
so that's a little different. But
There's a big
I'm still,
difference.
yeah,
So now you're living in Chicago, born and raised in California. You made your sound out there in Long Beach, California, or right?
yeah. I mean, that was definitely the the roots, the ground roots.
That's
Where
incredible.
everything started, I guess, for me.
That's good, man. When did you move to Chicago, and why did you make that move?
I wanted to leave as soon as I graduated high school, but I stuck around to like focus on music in LA. And I thought if I wasn't gonna make it in LA, I wasn't gonna make it anywhere. So I
Yeah,
stuck around. Finally, my record came out on Coal Mine Karma Chief,
that's
um,
awesome. Congratulations.
and then I just felt like that was the signal, that was the sign, like that was the chapter ending. That was the start of a new chapter. And since Coal Mine's a national label and I was starting to play national tours, I'm like, man, this is my moment to like. I'm still gonna be able to be an artist. I just want to start somewhere fresh, and Chicago has a lot to offer. Um, Nothing against my community. I just needed a change, and there's a lot of amazing talent in Chicago and amazing bands, and they've welcomed me with open arms, and I'm happy to be there for now. For now, it's not forever.
I know that your approach is always when you started DIY approach, and did you record most of your first songs in the studio or with an engineer? How did that all come about? Because you do have a long list of EPs, singles, albums since
Yeah.
2015. So it's
So
a lot of work that you've put in, a lot of recordings, a lot of amazing music.
I was in a previous band, and I was like the last one in that band to like give up on the dream of that band. And that's when my our old producer, Ikey Owens, ex Mars Volta and Jack White, rest in peace.
Rest in
He
peace.
approached me to he's like, "Hey Rudy, I heard you have your own batch of songs." And he's like, "Let's do it. I'll record it for you." So we recorded it at his house on like a 8-track tape machine.
Wow.
And then we went to a studio to finish it off with his brother Brandon Owens, who has done several things. He was even the bass player in Whiplash. So he played stand-up bass on the record.
Wow.
And when we completed it, I was like so excited to think of like band names or whatever. And that's when Ikey dropped the bomb on me. He's like, "No, man, you're Rudy de Anda." And I was like, no, man, like I don't want people to think I'm like, you know, all like self-centered or think that I just want this all to be about me. He's like, I'm sorry, dude, but your name already sounds like a band name, so that's what you're Rudy de Anda. And then I just sat there for a second, and since he was someone I respected greatly, then I just was like, all right, dude, I'm Rudy de Anda. All right, let's do it. So that's kind of how this project started, and then soon after I started getting messages from folks in the community like, hey, Rudy, I heard you're starting a new band. Like, I was like, am I?
That's great.
Like, I don't, and they were like, I'm down to try out to be your bass player. I'm down to try out to be your drummer. So it just kind of like, that's probably my favorite part about it, that I didn't ever expect it to come out this way, but that's how the cookie crumbled, and that doesn't take away from the fact that I love collaborating with other people, and half of my songs are collaborations with other people, and so it's still very much like a project that involves more people than just me. But it's at this point in my life, I'm comfortable with this, and I get to be a part of different projects, and happy to be on Coal Mine, and I have plenty of different things that I'm working on right now that don't necessarily involve like the Rudy de Anda project, but overall, like, it satisfies my tastes, like as far as making music, different types of music. For example, I'm coming out with a couple of cumbia tracks, sonidero tracks with my friend in San Francisco.
That's exciting.
I joined a post-punk band in Chicago.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I'm making like some indie pop music with my friend Uriel Herrera, the drummer for Natalia Lafourcade out in Mexico City.
Nice.
So I'm just having fun at this point, I don't really know. I don't have to prove anything to anyone, I think. I just have to prove it to myself.
Yes, absolutely, man. That's incredible. That sounds like you're doing so much with so many collaborations, and I think that's beautiful. You did definitely hear it in a lot of your songs, which are amazing. And the one song that I really I gravitated to the most was a song that you did with Adrian Quesada and the Boleros Psicodélicos. That's really the first time I think I heard your name, Rudy de Anda, and your voice was very captivating. It was an incredible song. And then once I heard that song, I started getting deeper into your catalog. I think everybody here in Houston is going to have a very special concert this Friday, man. And I wanted to just say thank you for making a trip out here. Yeah,
we're gonna go all out. We really want to make Texas our a second home, and we want to build a community. And it seems like we're playing in the absolutely right place to play in Houston, and that makes me really happy to be involved with you guys. As far as like, this is where we need to be, and even though Son Ropepera is playing the same night as us, because I think they're such an amazing band, and so switch, balance your time, guys, between our show and that show.
Yes.
And
yes, absolutely.
It's going to be an epic night of music in Houston, and we're going to go all out. And especially knowing our brothers Son Ropepera are playing nearby. So
Friday we do have the Son Ropepera show, but they start at 9:45. And they're going to finish close to 11. And I think around that time, you're going to be hitting the stage around 11:15 or so. So people can make their way over there to Wonky Power and check you out.
Yeah. I mean, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you won't be short of options. That's for sure.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Axelrad is not far from Wonky Power. So, and then everybody knows that, we work together. So it's amazing. It's going to be a beautiful night this Friday. But I want to continue talking about this. It seems like you have a very big, strong bridge with a lot of artists, nationally, internationally. How did that come about, really? Was it just you releasing music after Ikey Owens and that just spread around? And how did that, what can you tell new musicians right now that are probably starting out? How do they get to starting just maybe in their bedroom and making songs and recording to getting to the place where you're at, where you're touring and you're performing at big cities and you're having a big band behind you and you have a lot of support from big musicians as well? It's a beautiful story. What's maybe a piece of advice that you would give to some musicians?
Well, it's not an exciting piece of advice, I'll tell you that much. Like I'm in my mid 30s now, and like I've just worked my ass off. I don't know what else to tell you. Like I've been playing shows since I was in my early 20s, late teens, just grinding it out. But it's the journey is what like shows you what you like and what you don't like, and I think sometimes people forget that at the end of the day, like it's just all about writing a good song, you know? like um like one song could take you further than anything else. I still believe that the power of one song is more powerful than anything else. So just try, just keep going. I don't know what to say. Like I could have quit so many times,
Yeah.
like a variety of times, but
Yeah.
I just never really cared. Like I'm just kind of like doing it for myself in a way, and just lo que pasa pasa.
Ándale.
So I just feel like if you're in it to become famous, like just hang up the jersey, like just hang up the shoes, because you're not in it for the right reasons. Like that's what is that,
Yeah.
I want to be famous. Like go, all right, cool, dude. You know? But like if you're in there because you want to make art and you want to express yourself and you want to show people like that deeper personality you have inside you, like I feel like that's what people gravitates to. And like sometimes the pop songs and stuff, they're very like I don't know, like like things just come and go,
Yeah.
so people's attention spans are short.
Yes.
Things like an overnight star, the next day they're done, and I don't know. So I just feel like just do it for you, man. Like don't do it for anybody else. And uh luckily I've thrown myself into those situations and met a lot of great people, and I always gravitate towards the most, I mean, the more humble musicians, like the more down to earth musicians. Those are the ones I tend to gravitate to, or like the ones that you know are just still human, and they don't think they're God's gift to earth. And
Yeah. No, I agree,
like
man.
there's a lot of them out there, and that's why I get along with Adrian because Quesada, because he's like a big brother to me, and he's just likes to joke around all the time. And
Yeah.
even like someone like Cedric from Mars Volta, like has always been super like supportive. And I don't know, I definitely feel like blessed to I mean, I don't know, I just
Yeah.
kind of threw myself in the fire,
In the fire.
and here I am.
Amazing pieces of advice. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, man. And your catalog. Will you have merch this Friday for us?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
I
cool.
have pretty much everything except the first EP I was telling you about. I
Yes.
might have like one copy of that left because not a lot of copies of that were pressed.
Okay.
One thing I'm excited about is my new 45
Okay.
with my new tracks. I have that on me, so I'm excited about that.
Oh, nice.
We have-
Okay. The new
We've got tote
45.
bags, we've got shirts, we've got posters, all of those all those little things. So
That's incredible.
definitely
Okay.
buy some merch because that's how we make it to the next town.
That is true, man. Yeah, and let's speak about that real quick. Do you still have a few minutes, or do you have to go? Okay. How does a musician like yourself with an entire full band make their way from city to city? With what means are you able to make this happen? Please, if you can, elaborate and share some of that so people understand how artists like yourself, musicians, touring bands, make this work.
It's a lot, man. I'm not gonna say it's a miracle, but it's expensive. Touring is extremely expensive. Like you have no idea. Especially me as like a solo artist, where it's on me. Like we're not a band. Like it's on me. So I'm the one paying for the gas and the hotels and the lunch, and they obviously have to get paid just for playing the show.
Yes.
And so like it's so much. It's a lot. It's honestly can be very stressful at times. But somehow we make it work. Like we had a couple of duds earlier on this tour that could have severely affected the tour, but we just pushed through it. And I'm just happy to be here in Texas, like 4 weeks after we started this tour, and we're still here and we're still going. And I think that's the side, you know, I think that's one thing that separates maybe bands is like get out there and tour and be about it, you know, like get out there. That's something that I feel like has always separated me from the pack, especially when I was in Long Beach, because people would play shows in Long Beach, but then I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna go play in Seattle. You know, like I've always had that bug of like understanding that we have to build. It's almost like a conqueror type of mentality. Like you have to just go different places and build your audience in different places, and you know, like places like Canada, and we're gonna hit Europe next year, so
that's incredible.
Talk about expensive. So we're going over there next year, and it's just kind of like a never ending. I mean, I love traveling, so that's kind of why part of the reason I like touring is because I get to shoot two birds with one stone, and I get to go to different places while playing music, and the music is paying for that. So
yes,
I'm a vagabond at heart, so I love it.
I really appreciate you sharing that with us. I think a lot of people, especially fans, audience members, other musicians, they want to know about how that works and just how the money flows and how it is that you're able to sustain yourself with an entire band. It is tough. But, you know, that's why we try to push for every show, and we're going to push for this Friday, and people are going to come out. Yeah, go ahead.
Literally, you guys don't know. Like, you guys make the difference at these shows. Like, your human body is the one that makes the difference at these shows. So, it's been 6-7 years since I've been here. So, va a ser una noche bonita para todos.
Thank you so much, Rudy de Anda, everybody. We really, really appreciate you taking some time to come and talk to me. I'm Mario. I'm part of Wonky Power, and we're very excited to have you.
You're going to be there on Friday?
Yes, sir. I will be there on Friday. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Son Rompepera's playing at Axelrad, but they're playing before you, so a lot of people can come to the show after Son Rompepera. And if you're going to go check out Rudy de Anda, please stick around. You're going to be there early. There's going to be amazing music. Los Beckleys, right? Are they friends of yours, or how is it that you created this lineup, if you don't mind me asking? This lineup is pretty awesome. I want to know more about that if you want to let the viewers know.
Well, I mean, for me, my old ethos, I guess, is playing music with bands that I like, you know, or artists that I like. So since the Jack Moves, our tour buddies are gone now, it was up to me to kind of curate these lineups. Yeah. And I take pride in that. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not just going to grab any old band, you know. I want to do some research. And a friend of mine, DJ Moni Loca from San Diego, she recommended Los Beckleys. Once I started looking at their stuff, like they just played with Ramona, and they've been playing with all these bands. And I just know that that band is like serious about what they're trying to do. And they look like a nice group of people. And it was kind of a no-brainer. And they said that once they told me that they have my record in their catalog and they're excited to play with me, then I'm like, all right, well, that's meant to be, you know. And then the other band, I-45, I always think music is about the youth. Like I'm getting older, so I try to stay tapped in with the younger folks because ultimately those are the people going to shows and hungry and ready for experiences. And this group, led by Jesus Amaya, I believe. Yeah, he's like a incredible like local jazz pianist. Yeah. So I think it's really smart and good to have like a group of young, hungry people at the show that need to have these experiences too, of like getting there early for sound check and you're just idly waiting for 2 hours to do something. And I think it's a great experience for them, and I know that they're going to bring out some people and play a great set.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
And as far as Santo sounds, like we've had the great luck, and it's pretty much a part of our culture for our shows to always have some type of vinyl DJ at our shows, because it just changes the whole vibe of the night. Yes. And to look over and you have someone playing vinyl and it's like your favorite song or something, like it's kind of an unmatched vibe. So since I'm so vinyl centric and my label is, and
Yeah.
we have had the pleasure of having DJs pretty much at every show, almost every show, which has been amazing. And like I said, Santo Sounds is the man with the plan in Houston. So
That's right. We're very excited for this lineup. So everybody come and check out the show this Friday. Rudy de Anda, everybody. We just want to say again, thank you, man. Is there anything else that you'd like to say?
Houston, no se lo pierdan. Los vemos el viernes. Vengo desde Chicago. Por favor, cáiganle al show.
Ahí nos vemos, Houston.